Hey everybody, Invisiblekatana here doing an unboxing for the Hot Hearts Miss Valentine, because that would be illegal if it was Jill. Living Dead Miss Valentine 2.0 version of the figure. It is, of course, Jill Valentine. I'm excited to finally get this because it's been, honestly, past, say, 2 years. If you pre-ordered a figure, you probably waited about a year. So I think I waited a year for this bad boy, and I'm glad to finally have it. It is, for anyone who doesn't know, it will actually be Jill Valentine from Resident Evil 3, which you can see right here. But because I got the special edition, I got her original costume as well. So we have the remake Jill, and we also have classic Jill from RE3. Also, because of that, well, I think I got 2 head sculpts either way. Or I know there were like 3 things. I got mine from Giant Toy. This is the second time I got it. They like insanely sealed the figure. I swear I cut through like 4 different layers of plastic before I actually got to this box, which is impossible to get this stuff and figure out of. I've never had a box be like a vacuum sealed. Oh, it says Resident Evil 3 on the side there. Oh, I'm sorry. This is extra funny to me. So I don't know if they've done that with the other ones, but Resident Evil 3. That's amazing. I love that. It is hilarious. It's like, it's clearly there. It says Jill Valentine on the front though. So, you have Resident Evil 3, Jill Valentine. You can actually see all of the figures on the back here. They've only got 4 so far. They've got the ladies. So we got Jill, and Claire and Ada. I know Claire and Ada, I'm pretty sure you can't get those unless you, kind of hit up eBay. These are, these 2 figures are a lot harder to find because they're much older now. Who knows what will end up happening with Jill? Oh, I like this. We got the flap. I thought it was off the top, but I'm sure it'll be something fancy. So we'll just do this. Well, we will not do that. Something just fell out. I would assume this is from the company. That, oddly enough, looks like Rebecca, but I know it's not. Obviously, it's some character doing magic. If you know who that is, hey, definitely let me know. But let's see what we got, because I realize now stuff might fall out. Oh, it's just more ad stuff. So we got 3 things here. What is this? Chris something. And they have a Mr. Queen, so there you go if you're interested in that. I know, I think it was So Toys does a lot of third-party DC figures. Theirs are really good. I'm still, I think I'm gonna end up getting their Red Hood that they have coming out because it looks freaking amazing, so I'm looking forward to that. So we got our 2 head sculpts here. Let's see these out. And I know one was like supposed to be a smirk or something. The way they did it was like kind of looking off to the side, and the other one was like a slight smirk or whatever. So let's finally see what the difference is in person here. Yeah, so that's really it. It's the same face. It's just her looking in a different direction. So one is her looking off to the side here, as you can see. Sorry for my light setup. It's super blown out. I'm gonna get to that at some point. And then this one, she's looking right at you. So same sculpt, just looking in a slightly different direction, like kind of off to the side, or straight at you. So that's cool. I actually like this because I've seen other figures, and maybe it was their first version or maybe it was a different company. The hair was slightly different because her hair kind of looks like this in the game. And even though that's super far away, you can't tell. It looks different than it does in the original. And I feel like with the sculpt that they have for this, it's very close to the original Jill Valentine look. Like, I feel like it's the perfect blend between the new hairstyle and the original hairstyle, because that's kind of how she had it, where it was like split on the side and it was basically just even flat down, because old school PS1 video game, they're like, we'll put a line here and then it's perfectly straight, and that's pretty much it. And I feel like this is a really good blend between the 2 different hairstyles, where I'm like, if I put her in her classic outfit, that's kind of the hairstyle that she has. So I was actually super happy when I was first looking at it, and I was like, okay, if you actually switch it, she does kind of look like her old school outfit. So I was super happy about that. But I like the there's not much to say. I think it's a really good head sculpt, actually, for both. They're pretty much the same head sculpt, just the eyes are slightly different, which I don't know how much it costs to have moving eyes, but I guess that would cost more for them. I guess that would have cost more money than to just do the sculpt twice and just have the eyes like slightly tilted. So that'll probably be a bit more expensive for them. But I'm like, I feel like that, obviously I don't make figures, so I'm like, in my head when I first thought, I was like, wouldn't that have been easier? But it probably would have been harder because it's a whole different set of mechanics that you have to get into. This, I would assume, is the body, which of course I have to cut open. So this body is a jointed body, but I believe it was, it's one of the seamless figures that they have, like pretty much all the third-party stuff where it's like, hey, this doesn't actually come with the seamless body, but this is the one we were using that looks amazing. So they were using a seamless figure, so I might end up getting it off of, oh man, she's a buttload of hands. And she's totally nude. And she's got just pointy nips. Oh, okay, that's interesting. So definitely jointed, but the way they have it at the top with her rubbery pointy nipple or boob, this is weird. So her actual stomach and chest are like rubbery. I don't know how YouTube is going to be about this, but there you go. So it's actually rubbery. The worst way I could do it is be like, you can see how squishy your boobs are, but there you go. So it's actually rubbery in the center, and then the rest of her body is like, you know, kind of normal plastic. So at the top here, they have like a nice little rubber piece around the actual I can't think of what I'm trying to say, the ball joint for the head. So that's actually kind of cool, so that it makes it a bit more seamless, where it looks, you know, somewhat realistic. And I actually like that idea. The body, you can definitely tell, has a little bit of crunch. I feel like it goes back way more than it goes forward, but it's a decent bit forward too. And of course, as you saw at the top, her boobs are separated, so you can get pretty far back. Like, that's pretty crazy. I gotta be super careful. I don't know how stupid YouTube is gonna get about it, but this is the, you know, the body that it comes with, which I think is pretty decent. I think I'm already moving this thing around a little too much, but you know, work with that. But this is interesting. I feel like this is the first body I've actually had that's been this way. Also seems really tall for some reason, but maybe that's because without the clothes on it just seems super tall. But I don't know, I've never had one that was been that's been, you know, come out of the box completely nude. So maybe they do look different. Maybe it is tall. That's something I'll have to figure out kind of moving forward. But we got all of the hands, and we got her feet here as well. Decent sized hands. I'm not gonna take all the hands out. Obviously this is just an unboxing, you know, first impression sort of deal. No reason to do it because I'm not gonna take the time to sit, you know, go through all of this and set it all up. So we're kind of hitting the big points as of now, and I already don't know what the F I just did with that back. Make sure the body stays nice and pristine. So that's really cool. I like the fact that, you know, you have that sort of more realistic feel with the center of the body, and also at the ball joint of the neck, so that, you know, when you're moving it around, you know, the clothes stick out. It's like, okay, it looks a bit more realistic compared to you know, the flat arms and stuff. It gives you like at least a little bit of a hint of kind of that seamless element when you're looking at the very top of the figure. So that's pretty cool. Considering our character does wear short sleeves, of course you're gonna have, you know, the regular joints and everything, as you saw here. Swivel at the arm and all that good stuff. I was saying, yep, that's double jointed. All the classic staples, double jointed knee, all that. Twist the well, it looks like, listen, it looks like you could twist the ankle, but it does not seem to actually twist. That's interesting. That's very interesting, actually. Okay. I also believe I have to take this ball joint out to actually put the feet in, because the feet have their own ball joint on them. So I'll see how that kind of plays out, you know, on my own time, of course. But okay, so there's the body, and we have a ridiculous amount of accessories, so I'm gonna just keep it very simple. So we have the RE3 boots here. So obviously that no split cut design there. So you put these in, she's standing how she's standing, like boom, there you go. It's like, that is like a perfect match, actually. That's great. So that's a good sign. Then we have the classic RE3 boots with the zippers on the side, which is neat. These are, I would assume, pleather. They feel so soft, they almost feel like they could be cotton. But I would imagine it's just like really thin pleather. But it's very cool. I like the fact, you know, I mean, I figured obviously you'd have to have some way to get her feet in there, but you know, you got the zipper on the side. There you go. So that's pretty neat. Zip up, zip down. We got two of those, of course, because she's got two effing feet, so why wouldn't you? We have her holster, which I believe is, yeah, her new one. I don't think they have it in this one, but it would be really cool if someone put out, well, at this point I'm good. I wouldn't buy another figure, because as of now I'm already like, okay, I think this is a really decent figure. But it'd be really cool if someone had the extra backpack that she gets, or like the extra carrying case that you get later in the game, because it looks different than that. Like, I think even in the remake they have it, and it looks different than the one that she has in the original, which kind of looks a lot like this one. Forgot that one. So it kind of looks like this in the original, except it's like beige, and I think it does go all the way across your back, and it sits pretty much like right on her butt, kind of like these little pouches do. I'm gonna sit her down, I'm not gonna deal with all that. But we got the gun in the holster. This does come out. Let's see how we do it. This is like the one thing that I always hate with pretty much all the figures, is like once it gets to like the little cords and they can snap, which these can snap together around her leg, and I had that with the Claire figure, and I like I had to use like an effing pin to push those things together. I hate that. That's like the one thing that I hate, when the characters have just the little straps. I'm like, I wish they would just make them just stretch or something. Like that would be the best for me personally, as even if it was like, I mean, honestly, you could just put the piece on there and then just have like the stretchy material in between where it looks like it's clipped together, but it actually just stretches and you can pull it off. I wish everybody did that, but sadly they do not. But we have, wow, they actually did it too. That's insane. We have the samurai edge here, which actually says stars on the side, but I didn't even notice that. The first thing I noticed was they actually have a very tiny version of the emblem, which I already know I won't be able to show off because I'm not using my macro lens, but I'll try to do the best I can. There you go. Yeah. So with the lighting, I don't know if you can make out stars on there, but you can actually see it. It says stars. I think it says, yeah, stars RPD. I would assume it says the whole thing like tactical team. That is more than I was expecting. It's got the silver edge, which I could have brought my samurai edge over. I didn't even think about that, but it's really accurate. It's definitely Jill's. It's got the silver streak on it and everything. So that's really cool. I think that's great. I was not expecting it to actually have that much detail to where you could actually read the letters on it. So, you know, that's always really cool when something like that happens, because you don't, I personally at least don't ever really expect it. Even when they have the items, I don't really expect them to have the text on it that much, but that was really cool. We have a really decent sized knife here. I think this is great. There we go. It's a knife. There you go. That's about it. It's a decent sized knife. It looks really good. The weathering on it is great. Like you can actually see on the very edge, it's full silver, and then in the center it's kind of that gunmetal silver, so it's slightly darker. My lights are probably not the best for that to actually show off that slight difference there, but once again, very cool. We got the walkie-talkie, which is a walkie-talkie, so I'm not even gonna bother with that one. Then we have our itty bitty stars badge, which says officer. I was trying to figure out like, what does that say? It says officer, and it has the year, I think, is it 69, 1969? I believe so. I'm pretty sure it's 1969. So I guess that is when Stars in Raccoon City was officially established. I don't remember that from lore, but there you go. Same symbol, even though it won't zoom in on the right thing. There you go. Same thing as my hat, so they stars. But that's cool. We got a tiny badge. So many little itty bitty bits and pieces. Like it really is like a model kit, is what it feels like. I can't. What the F? Something incredibly tiny. I don't even know what this is. Oh my god! It's a beeper. Yes. Okay. I think I would have to. I don't know what else this could be. I don't know what else that could be. I don't know, a little clip or something. I would assume that that's a beep meant to represent a beeper, because I don't know what else it would be as far as a light, because it's square. So I don't know. Oh, it's a light. All right, I'm stupid. It's a light. She has it on there on her shoulder. Okay. Then I don't think they actually had those back in the day. So it's like when I see stuff like that, it's so modern to me. I'm like, that's a remake thing. But like in the original, I'm just like, you know, they didn't really do that. But very cool. We also have the gloved hands. So this, of course, all the plain hands are for classic Jill, and then of course the gloved hands are for remake Jill. But decent hand. I think they're all basically the same. Yep. Yeah, grip hand kind of just out holding something. We have fist. We have the almost fully clenched hand. So there's, you know, space to put something in the middle there. So no need to really go through all of that for the hands. The hands are the hands. They look good. Now underneath we have the magic. I really hope I don't knock that over, because I'm gonna have a million pieces everywhere. So we have the belts on the back, or the pouches on the back. Very simple. We have the amazing shotgun. Does it move? Sadly, no, it does not. Oh, okay. So the back moves, but unfortunately you can't actually pump it. That's very interesting, because I wouldn't think that they would include the stock moving if they didn't include the actual like pump, which I think is due to the fact that they made it where the hook is like on the side. Which is interesting. That's an interesting, I mean, I guess that's how you would have to do it to put it on the figure, but that also makes it really weird, because you can see, if I put it straight forward, you can actually see on the sides, like even as you look like right down the barrel, you can see like the little squares sticking off the side. Not the biggest thing ever, but definitely weird. It's like, why not make it, you know, just put it down here, or put it at, you know, even if you put it at the very end, it would be kind of weird to put it all the way down there. But at the same time, it also makes it extra weird when you know that the shotgun is going to like pump backwards. Like, either have it up there or have it back here, and then, you know, you can actually pump it. But sadly, you cannot do that. Okay, once again, another thing I wasn't expecting. This pulls back, so when the shells pop out, it's spring loaded. Hopefully that actually made it through. But that's interesting. It's like, it's weird. The one thing that I would think would move does not move, but you can have it where, I mean, I don't know if I would ever have it where I put her hand on this. I mean, you wouldn't, because it's a shotgun. It's not like you're like, it wouldn't make sense to do that with a shotgun. So that's really interesting to me, that's what they have as far as moving pieces. It's very odd. Like, two things. I mean, that moving, I can totally understand. Excuse me. But I was never, I never would have expected like that to move open, as if shells are going to be popping out. But you can't pump the actual shotgun. Still looks great though. I mean, I think the design for it is still really good. Nice gray, a little bit of black in there, but that definitely feels a little bit weird considering there are other moving pieces. And then the fact that it technically looks weird too, because it's like, if it wasn't going to move, I think I would almost rather, well, actually no, if it doesn't move, why not just put it on the bottom, same position, just underneath. Now my effing throat drying out. Gummy worms will save me. That'll do the trick. Oh crap, I gotta get water. Oh my goodness, I thought I could make it. I was straight up dying. I was actually dying there. Wow. From the great beyond, they did not want me shaming the shotgun. But the shotgun is cool. So moving on, we got the clothes. I'm not gonna take everything out because I'm excuse me, because I'm not gonna, you know, put everything on right now. So RE3 remake set. We got the pants, you can see the blue, and then the blue tank top underneath. Classic RE. This is fairly bright, or fairly dark, sorry, for her classic costume. Oh, well, now I'm trying to remember, because technically this is the skirt. So that's the skirt she wears, and then I would assume this is the blue shirt, and then okay, so then that's the white long sleeve shirt that she wraps around herself. I have my stuff mixed up, I have my stuff backwards, but I do still think that that's a little bit dark. Like, it's basically, that's pretty much the exact color you're seeing. So I'd say that's a little bit dark, because on the original, I would actually say her original color scheme was a bit closer to this. So you can kind of see they're definitely close, but you can see that this is like vibrant, and you know, it's a darker blue. It's more royal blue, which is my favorite blue, so I'm probably not going to be super mad when when it's on her. But I always felt like her outfit was almost sky blue, kind of like that. It was definitely a brighter blue, probably even brighter than that, more than sky blue, really. So maybe the vibrancy is more accurate than the actual color. Like, it's more vibrant than that, because sky blue is fairly dull as a color. But I would say it should have been a bit of a lighter blue, but I don't mind it. Obviously they got the long sleeve shirt in there, which obviously you need to have it, you know, kind of wrapped around her, so that's pretty cool. And I believe that's everything. Yeah, that's just a giant piece, singular piece of foam. But that is everything. I'm gonna move all of this stuff out of here real quick so I can show you guys. We even have a little glimpse of Nemesis in here, so just so you guys can see it. Boom, there he is. I wish it was classic Nemesis, and I hope at some point somebody decides to make old school Nemesis as a 6 scale figure. I would absolutely love that. But as of now, I think this is a really cool figure. I think it's really nice. You can get a better image of her, you know, in the classic costume there. So it definitely looks good in that picture. And I would assume the buttons, I guess, would be on the back. I guess that makes sense. Not something that I think you know, on the original PlayStation, I don't think they, you know, had the capacity to be like, and here's 4 buttons on the back of her outfit. I don't think they were there. it's been a minute since I played, OG3. But I don't think you could see, the buttons on the back. The detail wasn't that amazing, but I like the figure despite not being able, not having it actually together. I like all the bits and pieces. I think having, my totally censored body here, I think it's going to be nice. I'm looking forward to actually putting the pieces together. I already have to make the debate, but I'm probably going to go classic Jill first. And then at some point I'll do remake Jill, because I prefer classic Jill. And who knows, at some point somebody will grace me with Resident Evil 1 Jill Valentine. That's what I want more than anything, because Resident Evil is my favorite franchise. If I had to pick one figure, I should probably do that just in case, YouTube. But if I had to pick like one figure, 100% Jill Valentine, classic costume. Give me the beret, give me like the shoulder pads, give me everything from the original Resident Evil 1 would be like the coolest thing ever for me. I would hope Damn Toys would do it, because they have the official license of Resident Evil as far as 1/6 scale figures. So far, they've only put out Leon from RE2, and they are currently selling, for anyone who doesn't know this, you can still buy it, so I would highly recommend it. But they recently, as like a month or two ago, they announced the next set of figures, which is classic RE2 Leon, and then both versions of Claire. So remake Claire with the jacket, and then classic Claire with the vest, which looks amazing. And I bought the remake version actually from Giant Toy. I bought the remake version of Claire, but she was definitely shorter. It was like a company, it was literally their first figure, but I was like, I don't know if anybody's putting out, Jill or Claire. So I bought it, and she's definitely too short. She's not like a 1/6 scale figure. She's much shorter. So I'm like, I think I'm gonna buy classic Claire, since I still technically have a figure. Plus I gotta have the jacket, or the vest, because I think the vest just looks so much cooler. It's vibrant, it's actually colored in, and obviously in the RE2 remake the jacket is just like etched on the back, made in heaven, but the vest is like the actual vest. And I was like, I probably got to go classic Claire. Her knees look ridiculously dumb, so I hope they fix that. Like, just regular joints will look better. If you haven't seen it, trust me, just look up Damn Toys Resident Evil. They put like the Leon figure, it's the greatest thing ever. I'll put that as like my review. Or did I even do that? I don't think I did one for that. That was a minute ago. Point is, you can look up a review for that. It is amazing. You get every single weapon that Leon gets in that game, except for like the Desert Eagle, and that's it. Plus, you get the classic Resident Evil rocket launcher, and not like the new one. Claire comes with the newer one. If you get the classic Claire, oddly enough, you get the rocket launcher. But if you get the remake version of Claire, what is my laptop doing? I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's like the fan is just kicking up all of a sudden. But if you get the remake version of Claire, she only comes with the assault rifle. So for me, it was kind of like, I'd probably go classic Claire, because I'd rather she have the rocket launcher anyway. Plus, I could put her with the classic rocket launcher that Leon got, and I could give him the remake rocket launcher, which technically fits their respective games better. But either way, thanks for checking this out. I would love to know your thoughts on this, even though, of course, I didn't put it all together. I'm sure there's a YouTuber out there who's more adept at that sort of thing and just doing it all at once. I just had to do an unboxing. I got stuff to do. Who knows when I'll even get to put this thing together. I just wanted to do like my initial impression. Love the head sculpt. Glad to have everything, and it all seems to be exactly what I was hoping it would be. Like, everything seems really good and detailed. My favorite thing has to be the samurai edge actually being as detailed as it is. I was not expecting that. I did not expect to have it say stars on the side and actually be able to read that, and then see, even though it's super duper tiny, see that there's actually like little gold stars on the actual emblem on the side of the gun. And it's like, that's insanely accurate, and I wasn't expecting that in such small detail. So I was super happy with that. That's probably my favorite thing, just because of the fact that it's so detailed. I was surprised by that. So personally, highly recommend it if you can get your hands on it, because it's been on pre-order. It was on pre-order for like over a year, and I know Giant Toy might still have the remake only version. It might be completely sold out. Honestly, it's been a long time since it's been on sale. But if you can find it, I would highly recommend it. I'm sure you can find it on eBay, because you can still find the Claire. But I think it's a good figure, like you saw on the back. The back of the big box, there it is. I'm like, the Ada and the Claire that they have are definitely really cool figures. So if you don't mind spending the extra cash, I think those are good. And of course, there are reviews, older reviews that you can find for those two figures as well. But based on this, I'm like, these are cool. I'll probably end up getting a seamless body, probably for both of them, honestly, or at the very least for classic Jill, just so her legs, everything is fully seamless. But I think it's great so far. I mean, obviously I have to put it together to really love it, but you know, if the proportions are as expected, which I would assume they would be considering the insane amount of detail in the weapons and everything, I think I'm pretty comfortable being like, I can get a seamless body. If I don't, anything I put on here will be appropriate size and all that. So I'm happy with it. As of now, I think everything looks good. The details in the head sculpts I think are great. You know, obviously same head sculpt, just slight difference, tilted the eyes. But all in all, I think it's really good. I'm glad to have a Resident Evil figure of probably, yeah, my favorite Resident Evil character. Like, it's Jill Valentine, like the first lady of Resident Evil. So I'm super happy to have her. I have Resident Evil 3. I just need Resident Evil 1. That's all I need. She has other great costumes, but I just need Resident Evil 1 classic costume. They could even do the classic and an alternate if it was, you know, Living Dead, or like I said, you know, if Damn Toys would hurry up, if they would put stuff out, they would make so much money. Like, it's Resident Evil. I don't know. They'd be taking a long time with that. It took them, I think, a year and a half just to finally announce that they were doing the Claire figure. And that was the only reason I bought the other one, because I'm like, I don't know what they're gonna do. So hey, either way, would love to know your thoughts on this. So thanks for checking it out. Please put your comments down in the comment section below. I would love to know who your favorite character is that you would love to have a figure of. Like I said, obviously for me, it's Jill. After that, as much as I love Chris, I would love to have Jill and Chris original. After Jill, if I could get Resident Evil 3 Nemesis as like just OG 3 Nemesis, I would love that. That would definitely, that's probably my number 2 figures. Like classic Jill and then classic Nemesis would definitely be my number 2. But we'll love to know what figures you guys would like to see from the franchise. Hopefully at some point we will just have the whole series, the whole collection. Maybe not every single game. I know 5 and 6, I think Hot Toys actually did figures for in the past, so we might see that come up again at some point. I highly doubt it, but as far as newer stuff, you can find some figures here and there. But I'm definitely happy with this, so I personally recommend it, even without having put the thing together. Based on everything, details of everything, I think it's worth checking out. So would love to know your thoughts, so please put your comments down in the comment section below. And of course, thanks for watching.